Hello and welcome to D&D with college students. I'm here with Anna and Sean. Dun, 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 dun,
Sean, dance.
dun, dun,
Come
dun.
on. Come on.
Come on, Crawfa. Cut around to Anna and Sean. There's Sean. Hey, everybody. There's Sean.
That's pretty good.
And then there's Anna. Yay, there's Anna. So we are back.
Oh, no.
We've planned this moment for so many months.
Kind
and
of.
now Sean's back in town and Anna's back here, so we're gonna do this. It's gonna happen.
It's happening today.
So, guys, it's been, I don't know, 8 months since we left off with this story. So I literally had to go back and rewatch some videos, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm there. So the audience might be like, actually, Bill, that is not what happened. But
Retcon it.
let me summarize. So, you remember how season 2 ended with tragedy, where the party just could not click together, and Rayloff betrayed all of you,
yes.
and Milo. That's one side of the coin. Their side of the coin would be that you guys betrayed them. So,
I mean, I did write on the back of my thing notes on the betrayal, so.
yes. So, here's where the betrayal ended. There was a massive struggle for the crystal eyes of Vusek, the statue
Yes.
of Vusek, on the ship. People died, mainly Trixie.
I died.
Willie, you were on the verge of death.
Ah.
Somebody healed you and telepathically told you to evade.
It was.
Okay.
And you made a stealth roll.
It was
I
my
made
main
the stealth
man.
roll for you. I also checked everybody's passive perception. Nobody saw you. You stealth rolled out, escaped from the ship, and went back to the upper floor of the blacksmith shop to await further instruction.
Okay.
You died, sunk in the ship, and were revived somehow.
Yeah, and we did
magically.
the whole water thing. And I got my hat.
And you swam through the water towards this glowing portal underwater, and
Yes.
that blew out into a cave which magically had air in it.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And you went down this cavernous thing, and you went to this, like, ritual room, and there's Lord Finu.
Yeah, and he was hovering over a brazier or
Yes,
whatever.
alive and well, casting spells. And he was
He was
like,
like,
oh, I'm glad you made it. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And that's where, So that's where we ended. Now, what happens is this. Over the course of the next few days, as you're recovering, you guys are brought together by Lord Finup in another safe house, not above the blacksmith shop. But it's basically, there's an underground kind of catacomb that connects this other building that he has access to. So you're in the basement of an inn, walled off from the rest of the basement of the inn. So it's like a room.
So a
there's
secret
couple,
basement.
Yeah, basically like a secret room in a basement. Okay, and what he explains to you is that he basically chose you guys for a reason, and that is he's prepared to tell you something that most of the people on the island continent of Nuwoph Otmi do not even know.
Ooh.
Other than perhaps a handful of elders and like the rulers of major kingdoms. But he says specifically that some of the kings and rulers of domains don't even know the secret that he's about to impart to you.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right, I'm ready.
early one morning, so basically you guys are all healed up, and he basically explains to you that he is not the bad guy. It might seem that way. It might seem like that somebody who wants to steal, something from a statue from a temple of a good goddess is a bad guy, but he's not. He says that actually there's a group of very bad people who want to enslave everyone on this island and have successfully done that for thousands of years. So he pulls out, he unrolls a map, okay, and on that map it's basically the map of Nuwoph Otmi, and you've seen this before. Like the layout
Okay.
of the island in the righteous domain of Kabul Kailish, which is like in that south center part of the map, and then the different kingdoms and stuff that go around it. And then in the middle of the map are the mountains and that kind of plateau desert up in the higher elevations. Right?
Okay.
He says, this is not actually an island continent. Where we are right now was actually once part of another continent. This whole area was removed from the rest of the world, detached
Is
from
this
the
like
rest of the
Lost?
world.
That's
Is it like Lost? In a sense, yes, but in another sense, no. Because
So-
I don't like to directly rip off other people.
Okay.
It's a conglomerate of a bunch of ideas.
So-
Do we move around? Or are we just like in
Sean,
one
shut up
spot?
for a second. Is
he's-
that what's up with the thing 10 miles out in the ocean?
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Thing to-
any ship or any person who's ever tried to go further than 10 miles out, directly away from, in any direction, away from the island, is shipwrecked or never seen again.
Oh,
They
because the
get
Earth
Ber-
is flat, right?
They get Bermuda Triangled.
So imagine
Yeah.
that for thousands of years, all the most scholarly people have determined that this, where we live, is the entire Earth, this continent, and that it's flat, and that if you go to the edge, you fall off. They have reason to believe that because that's actually what happens.
Well, it's actually true.
Well, in a sense, it's true.
Oh my God, it's the D&D
We are
table.
part of a world, but we are detached from it because thousands of years ago, something horrible happened. And the gods decided to take this place that we are right now and detach it from a continent and lift it up above the world so that it orbits the world.
Okay,
So,
that's
so we're
We are on a
the-
floating island
Okay.
above the world
that's pretty sweet.
What happens to
that's
the water?
surrounded by divine, super powerful, god-level magic involving all four elements. So there is water that is funneled back up,
Okay.
fresh water that's funneled back
Oh.
up, that then drips over the sides in all directions like a massive 100-mile-long waterfall, and that continuously cycles back up.
Question.
Below us is a whole nother world, the world that we used to be a part of. Now, there are people in charge of our world that know this, and they take advantage of it. They have become basically the gods of their own place.
Okay.
The Earth component is that our continent, by any measure of nature, should have crumbled long ago, right? There's no way
Right.
that
Yeah.
a giant rock continent could be held up in the air.
It's not Minecraft.
So clearly, the gods have manipulated the element of Earth
Yeah.
to sustain this structurally, right?
How fast is the water
The
moving
air
up?
is also a significant component because
Gravity
we
speed.
are probably, by anyone's measure, and who knows, hundreds of miles above the planet.
Nah, we just adapted.
We're
to no
surrounded. We're surrounded by a cone of air. So imagine a cylinder of air, like
Oh, I see.
like being inside of a tornado in a sense, but not spinning. We're inside of a cone, a cylinder of air that is sustaining us hundreds of miles up from the rest of the planet
Okay.
and funneling the water down and funneling it back up through the center. This whole cycle,
The center. Learning a
continues
drawing.
and perpetuates.
Okay.
The last component of this, of course, is fire. Because we're hundreds of miles closer to our sun, we should be dead. We're not. Somehow there is some control over the heat coming from our sun that balances out our climate. We have this special little pocket, this little microclimate that surrounds our continent. Okay?
Okay.
Which makes our rather Mediterranean climate very nice most of the time, right? It's always warm. There's a thing that happens, and we have evidence of this, that you could only see now here in the mountains. When you go to the highest mountains, there's snow, right? But we never get snow on the mainland. So something somehow happens where the climate, the weather can provide snow, and that can get up on top of the mountains
Okay.
in the center of the continent. That can melt and give us fresh water, which is how we get our rivers and lakes, as well as the recycling of the water. This whole process, by the way, is only known to maybe a few score people on this entire continent. The organization that I'm a part of has uncovered this and has uncovered part of the very long eons old history of how this all happened. We're not the bad guys. We're the ones that want to find out the answers and liberate our peoples. Why are we stuck here? Why? And why haven't the people who know all this, like, why don't they share? Why is that a secret? Why don't the denizens of our continent know this? Now, of course, as you could probably guess, if I went out on the streets of any city and started sharing these secrets, I would be considered a madman, or the local temple authorities would, lock me up
Yeah.
as a heretic. Because on our island, it is known that, the four gods of the elements are supreme and are manifest. You've seen their power. So what do those four gods have to benefit from having this little pocket land? And what exists beyond our continent? What exists below on the planet? These are all questions.
Okay.
Our organization wants you to be a part of this greater mission, to uncover these secrets, and when the time is right, to expose them and find out what exists below. And we want your help, and we have the means to train you, to support you, and to give you missions that will help us uncover these mysteries. If you're willing. And if you're not willing, we'll let you free and then later kill you, because you can't know this knowledge without signing on to be
Well, that's fair,
part of our organization.
but I'm willing.
And I feel like I've been very honest with you. And we feel like you are good candidates because of the fact that though you may have moments where you're motivated by greed, overall you seem to have a sense of valuing individual freedom, which is why we chose you above the other former colleagues that you had. We value individual freedom. I don't like being a slave. Do you like being a slave?
No.
I don't like being a puppet in some great game between the rulers of this continent and the gods here. I want to know the answers. I want to know what exists below. I want to know why we're being kept here. And make no mistake, as nice as this island is, this is a prison. You can't leave. You literally can't. We've had members who have gone to the edge.
Well,
You can leave, just
there's got to be a way.
We've had members who have gone to the edge, and even if you got to the edge and you didn't fall off, and you were able to kind of navigate around the edge, what you would see is a horrific storm beyond that would destroy or break anything with wings or flight, rocky oceans that fall off beyond where the eyes can see, so anything that's on a ship or swimming or waterborne would be destroyed.
Okay.
There's no way to leave.
Okay.
There's some kind of god-level magic that is keeping all of this system in place. And that is what we believe in, is just the freedom. We shouldn't be prisoners here. So, over the next few weeks, I and my associates will give you the most intense training that you've ever experienced in your life to prepare you, because something very important is happening. There are already things at play. You guys were part of a very small, minute facet of what's going on. The Eyes of Vusake, to acquire them, would have been great. But we weren't banking on that. We weren't putting all our eggs in that basket.
Okay.
So the fact that we didn't acquire them is okay, because in a way, it created a distraction for something much bigger. And that much bigger thing is happening as we speak. So we are going to discreetly leave as soon as we can, like by nightfall. We're going to leave, and we're going to head towards the capital city of Poitex Shahar. Poitex Shahar. It's the capital of Kabul Kailash. You've heard about it, you know about it, but we're going to leave, and we're going to get there as soon as possible, because there's some things that we need to acquire and some people that we need to get in contact with. So,
All right, let's go. I'm down.
you guys spend the rest of the day with him, and he kind of fills you in on how each one of you are going to be trained. okay, specific to your skill sets, right? And then that night, you guys kind of get into a very well-appointed, like, covered wagon with, like, a driver and guardsmen and stuff, and you guys, like, get into this rich, wagon, and you take off towards the capital. You spend the next few days on the road. Mm-hmm. He has books that he has you reading, like, nonstop. Like, anytime you're distracted by the outside, he, like, read. And then with you, he's talking about these different kinds of things, and he has you reading some stuff too. Your stuff tends to be more arcana based and more kind of, you're learning more about divine powers beyond just the known elemental gods, right?
Yep.
Beyond Vem and Taik and Deepa and Vusek. And, you're learning, and Ayuk, you're learning more about, like, powers of the cosmos beyond these things.
Okay.
Secret, mysterious, warlock, patron,
Yeah.
eldritch kinds of things.
Normal warlock
You
stuff.
are learning about poisons.
Nice.
Like, he's got book after book, illustrated books with, like, pictures of specific, like, herbs and plants and stuff, and then the recipes for how to mix them and what they do, and, like, how some poisons are, like, killing poisons, some are for sleep, some are, like, slow-released poisons, some are poisons that are, like, more instantaneous, some are, like, imbibed, some are skin-based, some are poisons that are, like, dry poisons that you breathe onto someone and they inhale it. So, like, he's going through all these different things with you.
Okay.
All right. 3 days later, you're in the capital city, and it's madness because the whole capital city's kind of getting ready for this big autumnal solstice, like the fall solstice, which is like a big
equinox.
deal. Yeah, the equinox and it's like a big deal for a number of reasons. Number one, it's a big trade time, right? So just like you guys had, like, the summer wine festival, a few weeks back in Dario La Cherie, like, this is kind of like the capital city. Everybody comes together with, we've got all our crops and stuff, but it's also, from a religious standpoint, a huge time. So there's all these pilgrims that go to the capital to, like, venerate the gods, and there's, like, parades and there's temple celebrations and all these different things going on. So the capital is just, imagine, like, Mardi Gras mixed with, like, Christmas time and Halloween.
Okay.
Like, it's all of the things, right? Just there's costumes and dancing and music and parades and food and incense and more music and celebrations, just all these things, right?
All right.
And you're like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And he's like, no, not for you. He's like, come on, we have things to do. So you go to this tower.
He's Russian.
Yeah. And basically, for the next week, he has you training with masters, okay? So in your case, there's he has you working directly with this old human who continues to teach you about poisons, but also teaches you these more advanced attack methods, right?
Okay.
Like, he starts teaching you, like, how to sneak up on people better.
So, like, assassinate?
Yes.
Okay.
But, like, also kind of the advantages of, like, being disguised and how to infiltrate. Ooh. And he teaches you basically, like, makeup and special effects, like how, and he helps you build, like, a couple pre-made kits, like, where you can easily, like, put on a wig and a fake mustache and, like, a fake, clay nose, and how to use, yeah, and, like, he shows you how to, like, craft, like, so your cloak, like, he basically takes your, like, your hooded cloak,
yeah,
and he sews, like, a lining inside of it of a different color, so you can easily, like, flip it and swap it and have, like, a different colored cloak.
Can I change my height? Or, like,
he goes, in more advanced studies, you may be able to learn a spell called Disguise Self, which will allow you to somewhat change your height, but it won't be able to drastically change your smallish stature to somebody of a normal sized height. Okay. But there are ways using a disguise kit to do that, including stilts.
Or you could just
so
wear
he
heels.
shows you, basically he shows you, like, platform boots, where like you can have this, ahead of time, and you strap them to your normal boots, and there's a little button on the inside of your cloak, and if you unbutton each side, it drops the inside of your cloak down longer, so you can gain, like, a foot of height.
Oh, that's okay.
So you're doing all this kind of, like, infiltration, poison training, disguise training, and crafting goods and learning how to use that stuff.
Sweet.
You are doing intense, deep warlock stuff. Like, And at a certain point, you are granted the ability by your devotion to summon a familiar. And not only summon a familiar, but like through the Pact of the Chain, you're able to communicate deeply. Now, in the process of this ritual, your master teaches you a variety of things as well, including more advanced familiar summoning. So you could basically, on a day-to-day basis, you could summon a familiar of whatever kind you want, right? Like a mundane, we'll call a mundane familiar, you know. Oh, I want a rat or a mouse or a crow, you know what I mean? But you could also summon more advanced things, such as imps, quasits, pseudo-dragons. So you can kind of summon more advanced things as well. You also learn to telepathically communicate and learn through the senses, right? So in this regard, you can combine some of your powers. Like the Pact of the Chain combined with Voice of the Chain Master will allow you to basically warg into the familiar that you're using. So if you send your familiar 10 miles away to scout something out and your familiar tells you telepathically, like, all right, I'm there, you could then be like, and like go limp in your body and now suddenly occupy the senses of your familiar. So you could see, hear, smell, all those things through your familiar.
What's the duration on the summoning?
So basically your familiar is there for as long as you want it to be on a day-to-day basis. And then you can dismiss it if you don't want it to be there. But you basically have an 8-hour shift.
Okay.
And then at some point when you rest is when you dismiss it typically. Now the exception to that is if you want to rest and want your familiar to stay there and guard you,
Okay.
you could do a short rest while your familiar is guarding you. And then when you wake up, you could dismiss it. And then after a bit, you can resummon. There are more specific rules with that, but based on your training and specific to this game, think of your familiar as being kind of a magical creature that when it's not working for you, you could dismiss it to another place.
Okay.
And that's the more arcane familiar. If you just want a mundane familiar for some day, you know, just like, I just want a regular squirrel. Okay, fine, you have a squirrel. But like for a specific arcane familiar, I'll give you some flexibility.
Okay.
Okay. All right. A week goes by. It's the training is so intense that you guys have only been able to have like the most basic level rests and food breaks and bathroom breaks, and every other second of your life is intense training.
Okay.
Okay.
That sucks.
There's something else. You guys have been shown something that is related to what he was explaining before, which is that if you think about the people who know the secrets, there's the people who know and kind of control this island, right? Those are the people in power. And the people in power don't want everybody else to know the secrets. But not everybody in power knows the secrets, right? And the example he gives you is, you know, for example, the very ruler of Kabul Kailash, the domain that we're in right now, Kor Paigambar, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the secrets, but there's a very good chance that one of his advisors does. We don't know in every government who knows what, but we're assembling that list. We're starting to build that information.
Okay.
So anytime that you get an inkling that somebody might be clued into the greater big picture of what's going on,
The greater good.
to the secret world, don't assume that they're an ally, and don't reveal anything that you know unless you know for a fact that they're one of us. Now, how do you know that?
Secret handshake.
He goes, well, kind of. He goes, there's something that we have to give you now that will help you be identified. So he unrolls his sleeve and he pulls up his forearm. And on his forearm is a skull with little snakes coming off the tops of it. Kind of like a Medusa head,
Yeah.
but a skull with those snakes.
Like the dark mark.
No, because that's just a snake in the sky.
No,
Or
it's
is
a
it?
snake and coming out of a skull on the left forearm.
Yeah. Yeah, but my thing came out before Harry Potter, so there.
Not if you didn't.
Mine, well, I don't know when Harry Potter came out, but I started this in my original world in 1998.
You think I know when Harry Potter came out?
I don't know.
I don't.
Siri, when did Harry Potter come out?
Sean, you
I
got
bet like 10
seven?
people's phones just went off right now.
Krafa, when did Harry Potter come out? All right.
91.
So anyway, he tells you that you are going to have this, and that it is not just a regular tattoo.
Is there
There-
a brand?
Dark mark?
There are arcane properties. There are arcane properties. So that when you are around somebody else with the mark, and it's authentic, you will feel a slight tingling in yours.
Like the
So
dark
like when you guys are with each other, there will be like a slight tingling. But if you encounter someone else,
Okay.
if they have that mark, it will feel different.
Like the
Okay.
dark mark?
Yeah, but you don't touch a wand to it.
But
It
what's-
doesn't summon something
what's-
in the sky.
No.
No.
Dark mark doesn't do that either.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's not Harry
know
Potter.
what that
Anna.
is.
Shut up. All right. So you guys
get it,
spend
Sean,
a
you're
day
cool.
getting a tattoo from this
A day?
old woman. Like she looks like maybe if she were a human, you guess she's not a human, but she looks
Okay.
old, like 100-year-old human, like just wrinkles and old. But she's like a scary kind of witch lady, and her tattoo has like it's it's either a stick or a bone. You're
Yeah.
not sure, and then it's got like a sharp like tooth,
Those
maybe
are
a
cool
fang,
ones.
and she's like and like just
Oh,
keeps
old
tapping
style.
the tattoo, and it hurts, and it just
Yeah.
takes forever, but finally it's done. But the whole time while she's doing it, she's like uttering some magical ritual, and Lord Finoop keeps like, you see something in his hand, and it's black, and it looks like the size of a marble, and he keeps like holding it over her hand while she's doing the tattoo. So you feel like the tingling on top of the normal tattoo pain. You feel
Yeah.
like this magical tingling. All right, and then when it's done, you see him put like the little black marble thing into a pouch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
I like that.
another week goes by. You guys are like continuing this deep training, right? And towards the end of that second week, Finoop comes to you and he's like, "There's something going on, and I'm pretty sure that it's something that the powers are doing to manipulate the people, to inspire fear. And I think they're using some magic to do it, and it's magic that we need." Now, normally they don't use this kind of stuff, but I think it might have to do with the fact that what happened with you guys and the crystal eyes of Vusake maybe spooked them. So they're trying to whip the people back in line with a little scare tactic.
Okay.
We could use this to our advantage. My master has asked me for you guys to do a little investigation and find out a little more about this. So there's a temple in the Citadel district that is where they're using this as a base of operation. And what they're doing is basically breeding demons. They're capturing people and breeding little demons, and then they're setting the demons free in like populated areas to basically scare people. They're not super powerful, heavy duty demons, but they're powerful enough.
Okay.
Gross.
Okay. What I need you to do is infiltrate this temple, acquire the magic that they're using to do this, and replace it with something else. Okay. So he goes over to a shelf and he gets a black velvety bag, and he pulls out the black velvety bag, and there's a crystal, almost like you ever seen that like Himalayan rock salt?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that, but like
Tasty.
instead of pink, it's more like orange.
It comes in orange.
Okay, so it's kind of like an orange,
Okay.
and he like says an incarnation, and now it's like glowing, and it feels kind of warm. He goes, "This is the dummy. I want you to infiltrate this temple, find where the real one is. It should look something like this. It might not be orange, it might be more red or yellow, but it should look something like flame inside of a crystal.
Yeah.
Okay? Swap it out. Don't kill anyone. That's the hard part. You can't kill anyone because we want them to think that they got the actual crystal. Do you understand? But we can't take any chances.
All right.
He goes, there's one more thing. Because these are the people in control of secret powers, they have magic that most people don't know about. They're using arcane magic from the world below. So I'm going to draw out some things that you need to be aware of, okay? Think of this as kind of an arcane map. So the first thing he gives you as he's drawing this out is a scroll that shows you a bunch of runes. And the runes basically point in directions. He translates the runes for you to like north, south, east, west. Okay? And he basically says like this is what you should use when you see these. Okay? The second thing he gives you is another scroll that demonstrates how to activate specific magic that is linked to the elements. So if there's fire, if there's any kind of ward against fire, you have to provide fire. Like, so
Alright.
light a torch. If there's earth, you have to have like sand or dirt. He goes, so take this pouch of dirt. Okay? If there's water, you know, he's like, take a vial of like pure, like fresh water. He goes, and if there's any kind of ward against air, you have to breathe on it, like blow on the magical ward so it feels air. Okay, these are all ways that you could safely activate those. If you don't match the element to the element, it will backfire on you. So if you put water with fire, fire will explode on you. See what I mean? So you have
Yeah.
to match the element with the element. He goes, be very careful, be very stealthy. So he gives you a map of the Citadel District. He gives you fake IDs, basically, that are like for people that aren't you.
Okay.
And then he sends you there. Okay. So you guys go, like, it's late afternoon. And there's, you know, like I said, it's busy, but the Citadel District in the capital is kind of where, like, the nobility and all the governmental bureaucracy are, and, like, the holiest of the holy, like, bishops and archbishops of the theocracy. So it's not as crowded as the other districts where, like, commoners are.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way to this earth temple, and you go in, and it's basically an octagonal building that goes, you go up the stairs to go in, and then when you go in, it's like almost like a little theater in the round that ends down in the bottom, but instead of a stage, like a wooden platform, it's just literally dirt. And you see a dwarven priest, like, kneeling in prayer, and he picks up, like, dirt in both hands, and he drips it, and, like, says a prayer. And he turns to you, and he's like, greetings, how are you? Now, you guys have been told that the entrance to this secret ritual place is somewhere in this temple.
Can I ask where this temple is in relation to, like, the entire...
So
Is it like...
imagine that the capital city is divided up into a bunch of districts, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the Citadel district is probably the most well-fortified, well-defended, most important district in the capital. This is like where Kor Paigambar lives. This is where
Alright.
the capital, like the palace is. So you're like 2 blocks from the capital. Like, that's one of the reasons why Finoop said don't kill anybody.
But, like, where in relation to our massive land are we?
Oh, south and center. So, like, if this is the continent,
Yeah.
you're saying, Kabul Kailash is here.
Okay.
And then there's the circle is the mass, like the mountains and stuff.
Okay.
And then there's other kingdoms here.
Okay, I see.
Okay. So like a bike wheel, Sean.
Oh.
You know, or
Oh.
yeah.
Motorcycle
Yeah,
wheel.
motorcycle wheel.
Car wheel.
Yeah. So you're
Wheel.
south central.
Yeah.
So the dwarf is like, greetings. Are you here to venerate the earth god? You feel free to join me if you'd like to make a donation. There is a humble donation box right there. I was just saying my morning prayers. We also sell sand for offerings. If you'd like some white sand from the the southern coast. We do sell those for pouches, and that is a donation to the temple as well.
Ah, why, thank you. I will take a pouch of white sand.
Yes, that's 1 copper. So he gives you a pouch of white sand.
Copper.
Thank you. And then, like, I'm going to kneel behind him and, like, kind of just bow down. And then, like, I'm going to look very hard at Willie over my shoulder.
Okay. While you're doing that, why don't we have some rolls, shall we? Let's
Yes.
make some perception rolls just to see if you spot anything that grants you
It's
any
been a
sort
long
of
time
interest.
since we did, like,
Yeah,
D&D.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good. Roll a d20, Sean, for your
So that's
perception.
I knew that.
that's a 20.
Okay, 20 is pretty good.
11?
So you're like looking at the
Plus
dwarven
0.
priest. He seems older. You see her behind you, and you're kind of looking around. You're looking at Willie, but you're also looking around, and you see off to the side, there's like a wooden door, like a half door. Not just because he's a short dwarf, but almost like, you know, like under Reber, how there's those like
Yeah.
like a stage door under the stage. That's what it looks like. That as if it goes under the seating area of the amphitheater setup. That's the only thing you see in this otherwise
Okay.
large room.
Okay.
Okay, the priest is like, I will leave you to your prayers. And he like goes up to walks back up the stairs, up to the front doors, and you see he like takes some candles out and like lights them, and he's kind of doing stuff up there. He's like organizing some,
With his back turned?
yeah,
Okay, I'm going to get up and just walk normally over to the door.
okay. It does not look like it has a handle or anything. It looks just like kind of a push it open sort of door.
Okay.
Yeah, push it open.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy?
I'm trying to just behave normally,
Okay.
so not really.
All right. You open the door and it creaks a little bit. And you notice the dwarf look back and he's like, did you need something? That's just our storage closet for the temple there.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I just assumed that maybe you kept more of the sand there. I
Oh
didn't
yes,
want to
we
bother
do.
you.
But you, okay. Make a deception roll.
So that's
Good job.
24.
Yep, that's better than him. So he's like, oh, okay. And he just believes you, and he turns back to like lighting candles.
Still open? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going in there.
Okay. So you can. Do you both have dark vision?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
it's not lit. So it basically what happens, like you barely have to crouch. You have to get down on your hands and knees, and you crawl in, and it looks like a storage closet. Like there's on the left and right walls are shelves, like built-in shelves with like more pouches and jugs of sand, and then there's also candles. There's some like robes, like priest robes. There's some cleaning supplies, like a couple buckets and some brushes.
Okay.
There's a couple shovels, you know, like just stuff. And then on the back wall of the storage closet is yet more, looks like boxes and small like wooden crates of supplies.
Okay.
Cool. Guess I'm gonna go look behind those boxes. So,
Good.
investigation?
Make an investigation roll. You too. Well, that's actually good enough.
17.
17. You're looking around and you're like, "Ree," and you like
Yeah.
the whole shelf, the back wall like rattles a little bit, like it
Oh.
moves.
Okay. Real quick, can I grab my old character sheet? Because I think I'm missing one of my modifiers, and then I'm missing, like, the stuff I wrote about my, like, Fey ancestry or whatever.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go grab that real quick. 'Cause I
So,
don't
Sean.
remember.
Yes.
You hear the dwarf
Okay.
like coming back down the stairs. Do you try to close the door to the storage closet that you and Trixie are currently in?
Can I throw like a splash potion of don't mind me?
If you had a splash potion of Don't Mind Me, that would be an awesome idea.
Can I make one?
No. Here's what I'll say. I'll let you roll a d6.
Okay.
If you roll a 5 or a 6, I'll say that one of the poisons that you have,
Yeah.
that you could dip like an arrow or dart into, is basically like a narcotic that can knock someone out,
Okay.
like a blowgun, like a tranquilizer. You got a 5.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
All
All
right.
right. So you can basically whip. You dip and whip. Like you dip into the tranquilizer and you whip your dart. Now
Okay.
you have to make your roll.
Let's roll.
Now, because this is a surprise against him, right? He's
Oh.
coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
You can use Assassinate. So this is a surprise round. You roll 2 of the d20s.
Okay.
You have advantage, and you get the higher of the 2. Okay, so 18
So
is
glad I got
clearly
2.
the way to go.
Yeah.
So 18 plus 7 is 25. That's easily a hit.
So he's
Now,
out.
the problem is, I don't know how to adjudicate this, but basically you would do double damage, but you're not trying to damage him. You're
I'm just
trying
trying
to
get him out.
So let's say that this is just
It's like nap time for him.
yeah. So I'm going to have him make a Constitution roll at disadvantage. So he fails. So you hear him go like, what?
Good night.
So you like look out the door and you see he's just like he fell like awkwardly onto the like dirt.
Is he like alive? Or just like
He's
asleep?
alive, but he doesn't look. Make a wisdom roll.
Okay.
You see this happen.
Is he like asleep or is he like
asleep.
knocked out?
Like tranquilized basically. He's knocked out, but he looks like because he just fell, he looks like he's been okay, based on the learnings that you've had in your training in the last couple weeks, you feel like leaving him in that awkward position might be bad if some of you were to enter the temple.
I feel
You
like
also
that's smart.
realize that the front door is also open.
So I am going to try to do like a stealth roll and just go out there and just like put him in like a
Okay,
position.
so you
Yeah,
you like
and then-
basically put him in napping position.
Yeah,
And
nap
then what do
time.
you do with the door?
and
Real-
then I
real
go
quick,
back
how
in
far-
and I close the door because I have a saw. I can cut it if it
I'm
mysteriously
talking
closes
about
on
the
front
me.
temple
door.
door, the main doors
Oh.
to the temple. They're currently unlocked,
How far away is Willie from me?
like 5 feet, 10 feet.
Okay. I'm just gonna use Awakened Mind just in case, but
Okay.
like, Willie, dude, who takes a nap in the middle of the floor?
The guy who's
Well,
tired.
this guy is right
He's-
now.
He's praying.
Can you-
Because
He's
the
tired.
poison that he used works for 1d4 hours. He's trained.
Yeah, but like, can you at least just put him on a bench or something?
All right, I'll go out there. I'll put him
Okay.
on a bench and I'll.
You basically lift him up onto the bench and put him in a napping position.
Can I go out and close the door? Like,
Yes, there's a deadbolt.
I'll just do that.
So you just temple's closed.
Do I gotta roll?
No. All right, you go back in. You feel that this shelf is shaky and can be moved. And you look around, and because of your superb investigation roll, you find like a sliding lever that releases it, and it just opens up. Now you see a short, cavernous hallway. Like,
Okay.
like not like bricks, not like blocks, okay? This looks like somebody dug down into the bedrock and just kept smoothing it and carving like a tunnel. It's a man-made carved tunnel out of the stone, out of the bedrock. And it goes about 10, 15 more feet, and then you see like a set of stone stairs that dig down further.
Okay. I like that.
Now,
I'm
do you
curious.
guys light anything? I mean, both of you have dark vision, right?
Yeah, I'm not
so
gonna light anything.
You're okay, so you're still dark. So,
Yeah.
but you can see all this. It's dim, but you can see all this. So you see the stairs.
Can I use my rope? Can I hold on to one end and chuck the other end up the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay. Nothing happens. The stairs are like meant to be walked down.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Just
At the bottom of the stairs, you see there's like a few more feet, like maybe 5 more feet
Yeah.
of a new tunnel, and then there's a rug. Do you go down to like get a closer look?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the stairs.
Can I investigate that rug?
Yes. No roll needed.
Okay.
You look at the rug, and it looks like an old rug, and it's got a whole bunch of like symbols on it. And you're not sure what language they're in, but they're not any language that you currently speak. But they look familiar.
Yeah, do they match the?
Yes, they do.
Don't I have
Is it the
Artificer's Lore
activation,
to look
or-
at history stuff?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
All right.
No language or history, even if you rolled a 20.
Well, I got 2 times proficiency bonus.
Okay, yeah, good.
You still don't get it.
Still
dude.
don't get it.
Okay.
Because they're in a language that doesn't exist on this
So
map.
is that the
Okay.
direction? Are they the directional one or
Yes.
the activation?
They're
Directional?
the directional ones.
Okay.
So you see these ruins. She pulls out the scroll that Finute made for you
Oh.
guys, and it's like basically you're like, oh yeah, look, there's that one, and there's that one, And there's
No.
the orientation of the rug is such that depending on where you step, it will activate a magical thing that would affect the direction you're moving in.
Okay.
It either attract or repel you in a sort of magnetic, magical way. Using those runes, you guys can literally just go, okay, step here, and then step to this side, then step up, and then diagonally this way, and then here, and then we're done.
Cool.
And you literally do that, and you walk across it. Nothing happens.
Can we take the rug with us?
You could try.
All right, I'll try.
How?
Are you gonna roll?
You
up
don't have
the
to
rug?
roll. Just describe what you're going to do.
I just want to roll the rug up and take it with me.
Why?
Actually, I'm going to let you both make a wisdom save.
I don't want to
roll.
do that.
It's not a save, just a roll. You're like, why? I don't want to do that. And then it occurs to you that, like, Finute made it clear that you weren't to kill anybody or to mess anything up. He just wanted you to get in, swap the crystal, and get out.
That's probably smart. I'm just gonna leave the rug.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, you guys proceed. Go down to a hallway,
Okay.
right?
Can I throw my rope down?
What I'm going to
again?
have you guys do is make a series of rolls.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
first roll is perception. So as you're walking along, I just want to see, because obviously you're walking carefully looking. What's your total?
Perception.
Yeah, 12 plus 0 is 12.
It's 12. That's
7.
good math.
You guys suck. All right. So you guys both are like, yep, nothing wrong in this hallway. And you're walking along.
Okay, well that's
And-
fake.
Yep. And
Why won't you let me throw my rope down it again?
down what?
I just want to throw my rope down the hallway in front of me and then
Okay.
pick it up and keep throwing it.
Okay, you do that each time.
Cool. Thanks.
You get to a door. I want to know if you're stealthing around. Like, are you trying to be stealthy and sneak, or if you're just kind of like walking slowly and searching, or a little bit of both?
Just kind of walking, but attempting to not like be really loud about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with sneaking.
Yeah, you do whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Actually.
You make a stealth roll. Okay. You're proceeding down the hall. The hall splits off in a couple different directions. You see these murals, and each mural kind of shows a different event, seemingly. Like, there's some events that seem to be like, apocalyptic, like huge explosions of volcanoes and people dying. And then you see like another event where there's like some massive wars. And the murals look like almost like caveman paintings. Like, they're very old. They're not super detailed, but they convey enough of like these little vignettes. And then as the hallway splits off, you guys hear towards one direction, you hear some like scratchy sniveling sounds, like.
Okay. To Willie, I say telepathically, real quick. I say, Willie, come here for a second. And then I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on him.
Okay.
Duration's up to an hour.
Okay.
Did I just climb over walls?
Now you can move up, down,
Read
and
that
across.
to explain it to him.
Yeah. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch gains the ability to move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving its hands free.
Oh.
Your climbing speed is now equal to your walking speed. So you're Spider-Man now, but you can just walk.
Okay. Cool.
So you
Oh.
get to a hallway where there's murals. It's like a T intersection. As you go in one direction, you hear like sound, and then if you go in the other direction, you smell a horrible, like a mixture of an outhouse in summertime with a dead body rotting inside of
I'm
it.
not going
Horrible
that
smell.
way.
Can I look through like the keyhole of
Yes.
that door with the noise in it?
I'm gonna
Yes.
stand where I am.
You are stealthy, and you do not see anything. It's very dark.
Okay.
So, which way do you want to go?
I don't really want to go either way, but I guess towards the noise.
I want to go towards the smell.
We can go towards the smell if you really want to, but it's...
I'll just.
Bill's smiling. We definitely shouldn't go.
I'm gonna
You
go to the
should
smell.
go in either direction.
I'm going with smell.
You want to go to the smelly room?
Smell that way.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go
Roll
with
stealth.
him, but I'm
Alright.
gonna
Both
go
of you.
behind him.
Yep. Ooh, look at you.
Which
Yeah,
one
look
is
at-
stealth?
Anna.
18.
Okay. Willie's like, just be quiet like me. And then he opens the door and it's like, okay.
God damn it.
You see bodies and body parts all over the place.
I knew it.
And they are rotten, and you guys almost want to gag. That's how bad it is. Except your constitution is so strong that I don't even have to make you roll.
Yay.
Suddenly, something starts moving underneath the
Zombies.
pile of the dead bodies.
Zombies.
Doesn't look like a zombie, but something's underneath it, and it's starting to move and,
Okay.
and bubble and rumble.
All right, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I'm real curious
I'm gonna
now.
use Awaken Mind and be like, Willie, I hate this.
Yeah.
I would like to go the other direction, please.
Roll initiative,
God damn it.
Is that 20?
D20, and then add your initiative bonus.
So
12.
20.
Ooh, Sean with the 20 clutch. All right, you win, Sean.
Plus 25.
Something's coming
25.
out,
Yeah.
and it looks like this red-bodied little demon creature
God, I hate that.
with fangs and like little horns and claws.
Yeah.
And it's emerging from the pile of bodies, and it's like, and it
Can
doesn't look
I-
like you could talk your way out of dealing with it.
Can
So,
I use my Arcana to see what it is?
Yes, please do.
So that's 14.
You know that this looks like a creature that is like a very, very minor, almost like an imp level of a demon.
Does it know
And they're
Infernal?
called the Kaisel Iblis.
Okay.
Yes, there's a good chance that you would be able to speak to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have the initiative, so you can kill it or not kill it. It's up to you. But you won initiative.
I'm not gonna
And
kill
this
it
is-
right away.
All right, this is going to kill you or try to. There's no like you can definitely see. Roll insight here. Roll insight. Yeah, it wants to kill you. Like it's
Okay.
coming out and it's like and it's jumping at you with claws and fangs.
All right.
But you won initiative, so
Can I
you get
make-
to attack.
Can I make a freeze potion? Not like freeze like cold.
No,
but
you
like
can't just make things on the fly. You have a poison that hurts people, and you have a tranquilizer. Those are the two poisons
I'll
that
do a
you happen to have
tranquilizer.
on you.
Wait, no, then I can't talk to him.
That's right. you
She
can't.
can. Awaken Mind.
Okay, you know what you could do?
Roll.
You could try to grapple it.
Like pin it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'll do
right.
that.
So it's a strength. First of all, just attack it. So roll.
That's so
It's a
funny.
basic attack roll. All right. So you go to grab it and you miss.
All right.
It attacks you. And it hits with a nat 20. So you are going to take 6 damage.
That hurts me a little bit.
Don't erase 48. Just write it in there somewhere. Yeah. Okay, you're
Okay.
up. This is like trying to shred and bite and rip and hurt. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm gonna attempt to use minor illusion to just kind of make my hands glow.
Yeah.
And then I want to use Awaken Mind to talk to an Infernal, and basically I'm gonna do an intimidation roll.
I like that. And what do you say?
I'm gonna say, little dude, if you do not back down right now, I am going to fry you. Either let us pass or die.
Good. Roll intimidation. I like that.
God damn it.
Well,
Sean, it's back to you. You
All
want
right.
to try to grapple it again?
The one.
You
Yes.
don't actually hear her do anything, but you see her hands glow. And she looks really intense at the little demon thing.
Well, we'll try again next turn, I guess.
I will try and grapple it again.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
You
Finally.
succeed.
Okay.
You're like, come here, demon baby. And you're like, "Ugh," and it's like, "Ugh," and it's trying to like claw, but you got it in like a headlock and a body lock. All right, your turn. Oh, well, it can break out, but it doesn't.
Uh-huh.
Go.
How close am I to them?
Like 5 feet.
Okay. I want to try to intimidate again, but I wanted to. Can I intimidate?
Do you want to
and-
say
Yeah.
instead of using awaken
Yeah,
mind?
this time I'm going to just say.
Just in command it, like intimidate
Yeah.
it in infernal.
Right, like. Either let us pass or join the pile of corpses behind you.
Nice. Go.
So
That's
that
better.
one, yep, is 19.
It hears you, and there's like an expression of shock, like as if it doesn't understand how you're speaking to it, and then it stops, like struggling.
Well, I don't let go. I'm still holding it down.
And it like it basically says to you like, tell this big thing to let me go and you shall pass.
Okay, real quick, can I like agonizing blast just something behind it?
Can we see if he's lying? Can I do
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna blast one.
Sure, go
can I do
ahead.
like a lying thing?
Yeah, but
Insight?
Okay, it's insight would be, since you don't understand his language, it's hard to tell if he's lying, but
That's
you can
right.
understand his intent.
Okay.
Like whether he actually is trying to like do harm or just talking. It sounds like he's just talking,
13.
though you don't understand his language. It sounds like he's just talking.
What
Okay.
do I
You
roll for?
you don't have to roll. You're just like, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Like, I mean it.
ah.
Yeah. Okay. Willie, let it go. Let the little dude go.
All right, I ease up.
Okay. He squirms and he like runs over to a corner,
Okay. Well,
and he points to a door across the room.
All right.
And he tells you that there's more creatures this way.
All right. We're good, little dude, but if you tell anyone we're here, you saw what happened.
And he like crawls back under a pile of bodies.
that's
So there's another door. You have to move a few legs. There's like a stack of legs and
Legs.
torsos.
Is this the same door we came in or a different door?
Different door.
Okay.
You like move them out of the way.
Okay.
All right, so you go through, and there's another door. You go through the other door, and there's kind of another longish hallway. And as you're going down the hallway goes for probably like 60 feet,
Okay.
and you see another door. Now this door, as you approach it, you hear like, you know when like there's a barometric pressure issue,
Yeah.
like, and you hear like
Yeah.
the draw of wind coming through something.
Yeah.
That's what you hear.
Okay.
Like a window that's not closed all the way on a windy day in your house.
Okay.
And as you get closer to the door, there's a bunch of like murals around it, and on the ceiling there are clouds painted. And there's like a doorknob to open it.
Can I do another Arcana check to see, like,
Yes.
on elementals and, that sort
Yes.
of thing?
Can
Well,
I
that
do
one's
like
no
an
good.
investigation roll?
Yes.
That one's 9.
Because you came out clutch with that 20 for your
25?
investigation and a 25, it occurs to you that this has to do with air, and that you remember that Finoop gave you another document that gave you information about
Oh.
triggering elemental things.
So we have to breathe on it.
And you, sure enough, pull out your scroll, and you're like, yeah, this looks like it could be relative to it. And there's some symbols built into the murals.
So we gotta breathe on the door. Okay, I breathe on the door.
All right, you basically you find like the configuration of the symbols hidden in the door's mural,
Okay.
and you like, it's like blowing out a birthday cake full of candles. Like you're like,
Oh, ASMR?
yeah. So like you. That's so loud.
Not
I could hear it in
I
the
heard
other
it.
room.
I know.
Krafa's probably like, damn it. So basically you do that, and the door, like the handle opens.
Okay.
Okay. Roll stealth, both of you.
Stealth.
That's pretty good.
20.
Okay. Roll perception,
11.
both of you. You're like,
2.
hey, let's go in.
19.
I don't hear, and you're like, hold on. And you like hold Willie back, and you hear like a chanting, like a.
Can we just, like, continuously use Awaken Mind?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
hear like a chanting and like
Alright.
a little like ding, and like cowbells being rung, and like you smell. First of all, the air once you open this door, like as you're opening it, it's warmer immediately.
Okay.
Like going into a boiler room. Like there's a 20-degree difference immediately, and there's a smell of like incense and other smells, kind of like a mix between like a really spicy kitchen at a restaurant, like things being cooked, and meat, but also incense.
Okay.
There's like a very strange mixture of smells, and then like sounds and chanting. So you guys, like, as you're about to walk in stealthily, you're like, and you drop down, and you go in, and basically where you're at is like a balcony overlooking like a big chamber, huge like chamber, and there's torches and braziers and there's priests and stuff doing things, and you see a couple guards on the other, like the balcony goes all the way around in a circular fashion, and you
Okay.
see guards like on the opposite side, and they kind of look like bored, like nothing ever happens for them. They're like leaning up against the wall, and like they don't see you because you guys kind of drop down behind the wall. But like you're kind of peeking over, and you see there's in the center of this room. There's all these statues, by the way, around the different walls.
Mm-hmm. Are we moving north right now? Or, like,
Yeah,
towards-
so don't bother mapping it out because I kind of narratively expedited it. You
Okay.
guys basically found a second way around, and after kind of sneaking down hallways, you went further down
Okay.
underground. So basically, you're deep in the bowels of this network. Okay.
So, is it a recognizable language they're chanting in?
Yes, it sounds a lot like a mixture of a couple languages, like Elvish
Can I
and some
roll?
Abyssal. They're languages that you may know already. You do.
I know Elvish. I don't have Abyssal.
Infernal, so there's a mix of those languages.
All right.
And it sounds like they're just saying prayers, but in the middle of this massive chamber, you see a stone altar,
Ah, shit.
and you see like there's a woman chained up, roped, not even chained, like ropes to the altar, and you notice the priests are like doing ceremonial things, and that they have like a pouch, and they're like
You know, last time we were in a temple, it was full of naked women. Now we're here, and there's some woman tied up. Bill,
she's
I think
not
I'm
naked.
I know she's not naked, but I still feel like I'm learning more about you than I really want to.
If it makes you feel any better, in another episode, it's a naked man.
No,
That makes you feel better.
Okay.
I don't care
I
about
mean,
naked
it's a
men.
ritual. You'll find out. So, here's the most important thing. In the base of that stone altar
Yeah.
that the woman's tied to is a glowing crystal. And it's
Oh, they're gonna
pulsating
choose a
and
thing.
glowing.
Okay.
They're doing the thing.
So, how do you want to do what you have to do?
How
Describe
many?
for me.
Can I disguise myself as one of the people down there?
Remember
Or
you
like,
guys...
oh, the red guy. I'll disguise myself as the red guy.
You don't see any of those little red demons down there. These all look like humanoids.
All right, well, I'll disguise as a humanoid.
How many priests are there?
Like 6, at least.
How many guards?
2.
I'll be a priest.
Just remember you got spider climb, dude, so
So,
why are you going to be a priest?
you
You're not tall enough.
make an investigation roll. So you're kind of doing a like popping up, looking,
Yeah.
kind of scanning, and you actually see like down below in an alcove is like a bunch of like priest robes hanging on like posts, like on like nails basically.
Unless there's anyone in there that's smaller than a priest. Or like
you
my
don't
height.
see anybody your height.
I'll still be a priest.
So
Okay.
you want to spider climb down to there and get the priest robes on?
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
where
What
do
are you doing?
I am investigating what I'm going to do, and I am trying to find where the stuff about familiars is.
So your choices, the familiars you could summon. No. So that's the Pact of the Chain that
Yeah.
tells about, and then in the back of this book is where you'd find like Imp, Pseudo Dragon, Quasar, Sprite.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, you don't have to make an athletics check because Spider Climb will let you climb there. But
Okay.
you do need to make a stealth roll, and it's really more about climbing stealthy in a way that nobody's going to see you. So you kind of have to figure out how to climb over the ceiling. There you go.
Plus
That's
7.
clutch. 24.
20
So
good
you
math.
basically find the most shadowy area, and you kind of cross around the ceiling, like
Okay.
doing the upside down spider crawl, and then like you wait, and then when the guards turn, you like crawl more, and then you get down to like the other side, and then you crawl
Ha.
across that wall, and then you crawl under the alcove, and then you get to the robes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo, I got what I want to do. I want to summon an imp.
Yep.
Okay, and then I want my imp to be invisible.
Yep.
Then I want my imp to go down there and start chewing on some ropes.
I need to know. So you have the crystal, right?
Okay.
And you're gonna chew on the ropes of what? The girl?
The girl.
So here's the thing. The minute that the imp starts to engage in that, he'll become visible. The other thing is that he's no longer 30 feet from you.
Can I?
He's like
Yeah.
90 feet away. So
How close
you
am I
can't
to
meta
the-
I
talk
can't
to
tell.
him.
Right.
How close am I to the rope thing?
So imagine a big room. In the center of the room is the altar. You're like in one corner of the room away from everybody else by the robes. You get a robe,
All
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put
now,
it on.
you put the robe on, you pull the hood over,
Okay.
and you're
Okay.
still a lot shorter than everyone.
Then you know what?
I will let you improvise some stilts.
Okay.
In other words,
Because I have like wood tools. Can
Yeah.
I just use those as stilts?
sure. Have you ever tried standing on hammers and balancing on them?
I have a hand plane, a wooden hand plane.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I'm going to have you make an acrobatics roll. If you make the acrobatics roll, I'll let you walk on improvised stilts.
I will saw the hand plane, the beautiful hand plane. That's heartbreaking for me.
Sean, you
In
don't
half.
have to do that. There's like other things
Okay,
around.
well, let's do
I'm
that
going to let
then.
you improvise, but you have to make an acrobatics roll when you move.
13 plus 7.
Okay, 20.
Okay.
So basically, what you do is take like a couple books
Yeah.
and some like nearby rope, and you kind of tie your feet to the books, so you're walking on books to give yourself some elevation. You're still shorter than most of the priests, but not as short as you normally are.
Okay. Then can I walk over to the ropes, like where that
It's
girl
not
is?
like the ropes.
Well,
It's
she's-
like a girl's roped
Yeah.
to a effing altar, dude.
Can I go up to her?
Yeah, but there's 4 other priests.
Yes, but I'm a
okay,
priest
fine.
too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to her,
Yeah.
and then
Wait a minute. Bill.
I'm taking my poison,
Uh huh.
and I'm gonna like murmur some stuff.
He's
And
still 60 feet
Yeah,
away.
while he's doing that, I want to summon a closet because it does the same thing but better. I want it to go up to one of the guards, and then I want to use scare.
Yeah. What's scare do?
So one creature within 20 feet has to succeed on a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened.
Okay, and then
And then
what?
it has to repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn with disadvantage.
Okay. It fails. This is what happens. You walk up there, make a performance check. You're basically pretending to be someone else. You get to use your proficiency bonus even if you don't have performance. Rip. So
Proficiency?
you're
Oh, no.
you're walking up and you're like, and you get up there and you're like standing with all the other priests and they're all like doing things. I'm gonna see if they notice you. You're so fucking lucky.
Phil.
All right. I literally rolled for all 4 priests. I rolled a 2, a 1, a 3, and a 4.
I'm good.
I rolled for all 4.
So even though he
despite your
crit
horrific
fails,
I'm good.
he crit
So it's
fails.
basically like they're all so into the zone
The world's
of their like
stupidest
ritual that like they don't notice that this guy walks up and is just like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? You want some pizza?" Like you don't. I mean, you don't say anything, but like,
Yeah.
you obviously don't fit in. You're not serving any purpose.
You're way
but you're
shorter
there.
than them by like 2 feet.
I want to remind you that you have skills.
Yes.
Do you know what that skill is?
Sleight of hand.
That's like, like,
Oh yeah.
it's that skill.
Okay.
You can use that to do things. So I'm going to let you make a sleight of hand check to take the actual crystal and put the fake rock
Yeah.
salt crystal in its place.
The fake lava lamp.
Yes. Roll. You better not blow this, Sean.
Oh, I guess does that
Nope,
count?
doesn't count. That was a put down, not a roll.
It was definitely a roll.
Totally wasn't.
All right. And then add what?
Your sleight of hand bonus.
9. That's 20.
20.
That's
That's
a
pretty
win.
good.
It's pretty good.
All right. So what happens is you do that. Now you make the swap. At the same time, you hear like a guard up there is like, ah, and he like runs. He starts running.
Yeah, I want the closet to use claws on the other guard.
Okay, attack,
So,
roll.
Yep.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So,
That's a hit.
yep.
What is it? 1d4, 1d6.
5 piercing damage.
5 so it's like,
1d4 plus 3, it
Okay,
says.
so it does 5 piercing damage.
Wait,
the other guard's like, ah.
Wait, it has to succeed on a DC 10 Constitution?
He succeeded.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Then he is good.
This distraction has occurred.
Okay.
You see this opportunity to bounce,
did I even
right?
need
Because
a
the priests are all like, huh, what? And they're like looking up. I'll let you make a stealth roll with advantage. Okay, because she made a great distraction for you to get to the stairwell and get back up without them really noticing. Okay, hey, 19. What's your stealth?
7.
Plus 7. So 26. All right, so you kind of like, while everybody's distracted, you like start climbing up with your book stilts.
Okay.
And you've got the real crystal.
Okay.
And you get to the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
All right. The other guard, the first guard,
Yeah.
fails his next round, and he's still scared. And he's like, ah! Make a roll for your Quasit to attack again. Miss. The guard swings at the Quasit, and they're engaged in combat. And you see, like, the other priests now have all started looking up the stairs.
I'm going to turn it into a giant centipede and have it crawl up onto the ceiling.
Okay. So basically, here's what happens. You guys have this centipede now, like, creating a distraction. All the priests are all like, oh, right?
Yeah.
And everybody seems to be, like, focused on that.
Oh, it's got resistance to slashing.
You now have the opportunity to leave. So you can go back through the cloud door and leave.
I'm going to blow on that door.
I was just about to ask. Okay. So you go to, like, open the door and it doesn't open, and then you're like, ah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you open it and you get
Okay.
out. Okay. So you guys make your way back through.
Mm-hmm.
You get out of this temple. Dwarf is still sleeping.
Nice.
You leave him. You lift the deadbolt off. You leave.
Is
You
he
go
still
back.
wearing his stupid outfit?
No, I'm
Okay.
assuming that you ditched this robe along the way, or did you?
I kind of want to keep it.
Okay, fine.
Are you going to wear
You take it
that?
off and roll it up.
Yeah.
Okay, and you shove it in your bag. All right. In fact, you take the 2 books too.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay. You put those in your bag. You guys go back to the meetup. Finoop is there. He's extremely pleased that you guys recovered the crystal, and he tells you that he and do you like share the robe and the books with him? He's like, excellent.
Oh,
He's like, this
I don't
this
get to
is
keep my
going to
robe?
score a major blow. He's like, I can't wait to convey this excellent news to the master. He goes, we have another mission for you, and it's very deadly.
Before he does that, I want to keep my Quasit in there as a centipede, but now it is invisible.
Okay.
I have a spy now.
That's, It's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
He goes, that's actually good. So you guys tell
Yeah.
him basically what you did. He's like, you know what, that's good. He's like, stay here because we have something in play right now that is going to complete this whole plot. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes.
But we have something major coming up. So I'm glad that you pulled this off, but keep yourselves ready to go because you might be deployed for the next mission sooner than we think.
Okay.
And that's all for this episode of Tales of Trixie.
No, we're not calling it that. I didn't come
Of
up.
Trixie and Willie's Wild Adventures.
I don't like that either.
Of D&D with college students.
I like that.
No, that didn't work. Never mind.
The
I'll come up with
The
something.
Terrible Tales of Trixie and Willie.
Put Willie first.
Willie's Stroker Trixie
No.
Tales.
No.
That kind of sounds like it could be a low budget porno. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I want to see Spider-Man in case I die. It's not my fucking spleen.
Okay.
God.
Keep it clean. Ready?
Wait, how clean?
Like PG.
Like,
Stop
clean?
dropping F-bombs. I don't know.
like,
I can't come up with a good name. For months, I'm like,
I
Willie,
can't come-
Trixie's, the
Wild
adventures.
Tales.
Yeah, I don't know.
Willie and Trixie's
All right,
Wild
let's go
Tales.
to study.
That's no good
the
either.
stroking tales of Willie and Trixie.
All right,
No!
go to study hall.